Namaste, friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Tarot here to do our Twin Flame Tuesday reading. And we have pretty major astrological stuff still going on in the heavens, and it's intense. So grab a cup of tea and sit with me, and let's do this reading and find out what's going on. I'm going to use a new deck today called the Twin Flame Ascension. And so we'll see what that brings out, but of course I'm going to start with the Rumi Oracle. So I'll just tell you what I'm feeling in the energy. It feels like the twin flame energy is very active. It feels kind of heavy, almost like you can feel your twin in your energetic periphery. And it feels like their presence is very consistent. So you may be seeing synchronicities, you may run across your twin, you may be seeing their name, you may be hearing songs. If you're in communication, you may get text messages, just kind of abstract. We have two cards. We have Arise. We've seen this quite a bit in the twin flame energy. And the thing I love about tarot is it really reads the energy. You know, you have a deck that's this big and that many cards, and the same cards keep coming up. And you see how much I shuffle, and I do a lot of pre-shuffling. So the consistency in the energy is amazing, and also the redundancy, although it seems redundant, is because we're going deeper into layers. So the surface energy may be the same, but the layers may be different, and that's why we have two cards today. So one is the 13 card, Arise. This is almost like, this is the Death card in the tarot, the 13 card, but you can see this person is kind of forlorn. There is a divine white presence there trying to help guide them, trying to lift them. This feels like divine masculine energy for me, so I'm going to put that on the divine masculine side. And then from nothing to everything, the 16 card, this is the Tower. And the Tower reduces everything to nothing. And anything that's built on a shaky foundation is going to be collapsing under the weight of these astrological events. Truths are being revealed, which are cracking the foundations, the faulty foundations made upon false premises, false belief systems, false knowledge. And so it feels like whatever needs to be eliminated is being removed. And remember, this happens in layers, not, you know, just where it's kind of like the drip disclosure, but in the opposite, it's like the drip destruction. So this is the Twin Flame Ascension. Let's find out what this deck has to offer in the way of messages for the connection. It is a 9/9 card, the High Priest, personal empowerment. This is like the Hierophant card. This is, I feel like, for the connection. But let me read what that is. It's a little different. I did not mark each color. So this is kind of an olive color. It's red. Aqua. I skipped right over it. I just saw harmonize and let your light shine. That's not. There we go. Here's olive. When the High Priest appears, he brings with him the key to life, which unlocks the hidden mysteries held within your soul. This allows you to take back your power and align with your highest destiny, granting you the ability to tap into your greater truth. It also helps your conscious mind to integrate with your supra-conscious wisdom. Standing firm in your core values helps you to come into alignment with your worth so that you can take responsibility and ownership of your life, which provides personal empowerment. Evaluate your greatest strengths and then take actionable steps that utilize your greatest abilities. The resulting sense of accomplishment will fuel your inner flame. You are embodying a strong sense of courage, and that creates confidence and provides you with the strength necessary to fulfill your earthly assignment. This is an indication that you are using your greatest potential. You are becoming an enlightened leader with a desire to achieve your ultimate life filled with love, passion, peace, and joy. Stay rooted in your inner power, and it will lead you toward the life you are meant to live. So this is, to me, all about the twin flame energy feeding off and fueling each other for this personal empowerment. And this is directed by your soul. And it feels that I'm feeling the energies both gravitate toward this. Let me pull this out. Toward this this sense of really tapping into what are your strengths, using your abilities, and then really manifesting and creating, co-creating with the divine, the life that you truly desire, that truly want to manifest. And this is aligning your energies. And it's almost like the two cards are working together. The two energies of the twins are working together to support each other in the energetic, in the quantum. This is the Power of Love Tarot, or Oracle Virtue. You acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. This is your strength. This is the abilities that you have, that you are using for the highest and greatest good as part of your mission, and you are bringing that energy into the connection. And through both of you being in your personal empowerment, you're really divinely supporting one another. And that is a message that I've been hearing all day, is that's why you feel that the energetic presence of your twin is because your energies are uniting to empower each other to align with your authentic truth, your gifts, your abilities, and you're starting to use those to create a new life from a deeper spiritual understanding, but also to assist the ascension of others. Okay, this is the Lover's Oracle. Look inside yourself and examine what is causing you to feel this way. If you have been, this is really a self-reflection point. If you have been going back over the history of your connection and you're starting to say, okay, now I see the understanding because I've gained so much wisdom. I've tapped into my spiritual sense of authenticity, your spiritual authenticity. And it feels as though the divine masculine is taking this time to really reflect back, and they're looking at it from all the mistakes they made, what tripped up the connection. The divine feminine, this is criticizing one another will only lead to future unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. This is the divine feminine kind of accepting the attributes of the divine masculine as part of his divine plan. And he's kind of stumbling through the learning of his gifts, just like the divine feminine did in the years previous. We kind of stumbled through trying to figure out what our purpose was and how this twin flame integrated. We did so much of the learning and gaining the spiritual wisdom, and our energy is fueling that in them. They are becoming more spiritually tapped in and starting to really self-evaluate, why am I doing things that I don't feel are productive for me? Why am I with people that aren't helping or supporting me, who are just diminishing me, who are criticizing me? Why did I make these choices? How did I get here? And we've been seeing that in the energy for a while. We're reframing things now. This is happening for me, not to me. This is the abundance, divine abundance. This is the gift. See the gift in the hands? They're reframing. They're starting to see things now from, this is a growth energy for me. And the Divine Feminine's energy is integrating, entwining with the Divine Masculine's, because it's like a spiral, and it's just lifting him up out of that toxic cesspool that he's been in. And he has guides that are starting to send him messages and synchronicities and dreams and feelings, and he's starting to really tap into it. Remember what it was like when you first spiritually awakened and you saw, I think the first thing was for me the clocks. It was like, how is it every time I look at a clock, I see 44, I see 22, I see 11:11. I see the same numbers over and over, but then when I look at the clock and I'm not seeing like 4:26, I'm seeing 4:22. And then the next time I look at the clock, it's 5:44. And I keep seeing, 22s, 44s, 33s. And that still happens now. But when I was becoming aware, I was like, how crazy is this? Does this just happen? I mean, there's got to be something, because it just doesn't happen. And so then that's when I started realizing, that's when I found out what synchronicities were. And then it was the songs, and I think I told you the story the other day. I was on the phone talking with somebody, and we were talking about Ascension and what our purpose is. And I saw a truck drive by with the word Ascension on it. And I was just like, that's so crazy. But it's beautiful. Receiving, reframing and receiving. Divine Feminine is receiving these synchronicities, and she's kind of used to it, but now she's realizing how it really connects with her journey and what these synchronicities mean. And now it's like, thank you, I got that. Every day becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. This is the energy of the Divine Feminine. She is in that Divine Feminine receptive mode. The Divine Masculine is trying to reframe his kind of awareness. The depth of his soul is coming to the surface. And there's some toxicity there. It's like autophagy for the soul, if you know what autophagy is. That's exactly what it feels like. It's autophagy for the soul. So this is, oh yeah, see, here's the World card. This is the ending of an old cycle, and since they've been through the journey of that cycle and they've learned the lessons and they're integrating it, it's helping them now reframe their future. Oh, you can't get any more clear than this, folks. The World card and the Fool. The Fool is the reframing. The hero's journey. So this is definitely the ending of a cycle for the Divine Masculine energy. That was the Rider-Waite. This is the Muse Tarot for the Divine Feminine. I may pull another tarot deck for the connection, because this High Priest to me feels like the twins are getting in alignment in their spiritual progress. Of course, the Divine Feminine has done an enormous amount of work, but that energy is helping connect with the Divine Masculine's Ascension energy, and his reframing helps him to spiral up into a higher level of understanding. And I mean, come on, 8 of Emotions. This is your spiritual path. The Divine Feminine is very connected, but she still sometimes looks back on the Divine Feminine and the history of the connection and says, yeah, but he didn't do this, and he's not doing this, and, until he does this, be receiving. Allow. Okay, here's the 9 of Voices in the reverse. That's the 9 of Swords energy, which is that overthinking, overanalyzing. Don't, because that's only going to bring you into criticism. Judgment is a self-reflection. Judgment is the mirror. If we're judging somebody else, it's because we're inwardly colluding with ourselves, is what they're saying. We're colluding with ourselves to project what we judge in ourselves onto somebody else. 7 of Voices. Seven of Voices to me is, it can be malicious intent. but it's in this, I'm hearing spiritual derailment. That criticizing is a form of spiritual derailment. Okay, they said take these two. 10 of Cups and the King of Cups. It's time you master this. It's time you realize that you're the one in control of your own happiness. And the twin flame energy can be used to fuel that, or it can be, you can use the twin flame and kind of what you're perceiving as the negative, the criticism of what's not happening, as a way of sabotaging your happiness. When you're in that energy, and this is how you're going to tell, when you're in that energy of criticizing, there is a heaviness, a feeling of lack. It is a feeling of frustration. And when you become aware of that energy and you realize it's because you're trying to control the twin flame union, your counterpart, and you're disappointed or frustrated by what's not going on, then you start to then turn inward on yourself and you become in this saboteur mode. But when you say, okay, well, why am I feeling this way? Where is it? Look inside yourself and examine what is causing you to feel this way. When you self-examine and say, okay, I'm getting into my ego, I'm getting into trying to control, I'm getting into codependency. Remember, I've learned these lessons. I'm beyond that in my spiritual wisdom. I now need to self-correct and get back in charge. That's this king of emotions is the self-corrector. He is the one, that is you, the master of your own emotions, where you now can say, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not going to sink into that vibration. I know where that leads me. And that's not what this journey is about. This journey is about my spiritual growth. And the twin flame energies fuel that. It helps me to accelerate my ascension through the lessons learned, because I'm not only learning through my 3D experiences, I'm learning through my twins. Whatever happens to one twin happens to the other energetically. All right, bottom of the deck, 10 of Inspiration. This is 10 of Wands. Use this as a source of inspiration as opposed to a source of frustration. They said bottom of the deck for that. 3 of Cups, hello. That's union energy for me. So these are incoming energies. It feels like when the Divine Feminine starts to use that energy as a source of inspiration as opposed to frustration, that then promotes the union energies. I'm going to pull out the Shadowscapes for the connection. I'm going to pull on the connection right away. I see the 6 of Swords. Yeah, that is energy leading you to a more peaceful energy as opposed to the frustration. So this is a point in the connection. This 9-9. The divine counterparts are both at the same kind of transitional phase into the next level of energy, which is going to be leaving the frustration and coming into the virtue of the connection. These are the loving spiritual attributes of the connection, and how you are encouraging your divine counterpart to grow, just like they are encouraging. But I immediately feel, I'm just going to say this because it's coming through, that the divine masculine energy is in kind of that Page of Swords energy, where they're watching the divine feminine and they're absorbing that frustration of, how can she be happy without me? How is she so in charge and in control of her own happiness? Why is this, why isn't she reaching out? Why isn't she, and I'm using, this is energy, not gender. Why isn't divine feminine sorrowful that we're in separation? Why doesn't she seem to need me? So there's the frustration for them that's building. And because they may not be aware of the twin flame label and what all of this contains, and you can see I'm just kind of channeling, it feels like they have one step in the old belief system, and then they have another step in saying, well, this is larger than my energy. This is something beyond my understanding, and maybe I need to do some research. This is Four of Cups. Remember, no reversals in this deck. Three of Swords. They're not interested in being hurt again. They're kind of like, I'm hearing the term dilly-dallying, because they don't want to reach out. Because remember, they feel like that the Divine Feminine, we saw this in the last couple of readings, was in the energy of the Queen of Swords. And they don't want to get, I'm hearing, stabbed in the heart again. Ace of Pentacles. So they're hesitating before they bring forward this kind of reach out, this effort in the tangible, in the 3D world. That could be text message, phone call, driving by your house, running into you purposely. And there's the Nine of Swords. We got the Nine of Swords twice in this reading. For the connection, I feel like this is both ways. I feel like the Divine Feminine's not reaching out anymore, and then they're taking that as rejection. And because they feel like you're the Queen of Swords and you kind of cut them out of your life, they're like, I don't know if I want to start this again, because it might lead to the same place. This is the start this again. And with this union energy, they're hesitant and reticent to, they feel like the connection happened to them, not for them. And they feel like the Divine Feminine is emotionally not needing them. And so they're like, well, why should I? And the Divine Feminine's like, well, if he isn't going to reach out, I'm not going to make an effort, because I've already done my share. I've done my work. I'm focusing on me. And either they're going to reach out or they're not. At some point, and this is just what they said, at some point, there is going to be a meeting, some sort of equilibrium. We saw that, I think, in yesterday's reading. There's an equilibrium of the energies where it's just, it reaches a place of peace, of harmony, where the Divine Feminine's like, I'll be receptive. I'll be in the receiving mode if they decide to reach out. And the Divine Masculine is going to feel that energy, reframe the connection, or his perception of the connection. I think we saw that yesterday in the energy. So this is a deeper layer of yesterday's reading. Go back and watch that. He's reframing and saying, well, maybe she's just grown and maybe she's developed. But that's not a bad thing. Right now, the Divine Masculine feels like your spiritual independence and sovereignty is a bad thing, because it's not needing. They're used to your codependency. And now they're reframing that and saying, well, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is a positive for them. And I should see it as a positive. Okay. I think that was the message, yeah, because they're ready. Another card, please. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles. Who didn't think that was coming up? This has been a slow wisdom process. Okay, anything else, Spirit, we need to know about what's going on in the connection today? King of Pentacles. Got a lot of 3D energy, a lot of earth energy. Could have a earth sign involved. But to me, it just feels like they're waiting. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Yep. I was waiting for the Queen of Cups, and there's the Emperor. Now it's time to take charge. When he feels energetically this receptive energy from the Divine Feminine, up until this point, the Divine Feminine has kind of been in a very disinterested energy. Like, I can take this or leave this. I'm going on with my life. The Divine Masculine, and she's like, you know what? Don't even bother. Don't even bother. If you're not on my level, my frequency, and you're still struggling through all of that lower vibration stuff, I need to separate myself from that. So, you know what? Until you kind of catch up and can keep up, don't bother. But now that she has more of this revelation of that's a type of criticism, and that sabotages the energy equilibrium between the twins. This feels very deep. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm just like I'm channeling and rambling all at the same time. But this is the messages that are coming through, and I don't control that, and it's my obligation to give them as I hear them. So it feels like the divine feminine is having a shift. And that's love will accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. She's been in this pushing away. She's kind of become the runner. And the divine masculine's kind of been left there with this turbulent septic pool of spiritual misunderstandings, an old belief system that doesn't work. And they're asking for help. They're asking for help. And that's when the reframing process comes. And that's when they step into the Emperor energy. And yeah. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. When they feel that equilibrium, then it's safe. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helps. Please let me know in your comments how you feel about this reading. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Love you, all of my subscribers that have been with me on the journey for any great length of time. And as always, I appreciate anything you do to help my channel grow. I am so grateful. Namaste.